call to order at 7:33 p.m. And we'll start out with approval of the minutes. Did everyone receive the minutes?
I
Yes.
did.
Okay. And what did you think of them? Did you have any changes?
I didn't have any.
Okay.
And I've been down to the burial ground twice. Once before all the snow came and things looked okay. And
Okay,
then-
well, we'll be getting to that later in our agenda. Jean.
Okay,
Can I have, if there are no changes to the minutes, can I have a motion to approve the minutes as drafted?
Motion to approve.
Thanks, Therese.
Mhm.
Okay. Any discussion on that, or all in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay. Great. Okay. The next item on our agenda is the, I put the demolition delay bylaw. And that pretty much encompasses the number of sites that are kind of currently endangered or have been demolished. We have in the past, since we last met, they did demolish the Water Street home, our birthplace of Governor Volpe, 259 to 267 Water Street, which was anticipated, and also 1 or 2 New Salem Street, I believe, has been demolished as well.
On
No,
Water Street, are they going to save that plaque that says John A. Volpe?
Right, the original plaque, this is interesting. Many members of the family were interested in having that plaque. And what happened was that the plaque actually disappeared one night. The gentleman told me he plans to have, when he builds his new building, he plans to erect a plaque on the building. So, but the original one was, someone purloined the original plaque, and he suspected it was a member of the family. The original plaque was in terrible, terrible shape. So I'm fine with that. So currently, a house that's on the National Register has just sold. And I hope that no one is going to do anything to demolish this particular building. I'm wondering if I can share my screen with you guys.
What's the address of that building?
It is 6 Adams Street,
6
Adams Street.
Adams.
Adams? Whereabouts is that located in Wakefield?
I'm going to show you if I can, I might have to go and get Ben to come and help me too.
So it's Chestnut Street. And Adams runs all the way, whatever is on the other side of, it's not Morrison, it's whatever's before Morrison. So I thought it was a paper road.
Right, it is, Fran. It's, it was owned by the Bridges. Do you know where the Bridges live? The big kind of purple house, big Queen Anne Victorian purple house on Chestnut Street. They also owned the house at 6 Adams Street.
I'm gonna go down and take a picture of it tomorrow.
Well, it'll be kind of tough to do that because you really have to snake around. Oh, here we go.
Oh, good.
All right, oh, now I have to find it. I see. Here we go. Okay, maybe I can't do that. Here it is. Okay. Think I have enough things open on my computer. Here we are.
Good.
And here is the house. It is on the National Register of Historic Places. 1907 is its date in the shingle style. It really, really is a beautiful little house. And here's the information on it. Architect Robert Pote Waite. They describe it as circa 1886, one of the first buildings in what is the park section now. And here you can see it's perhaps the best example of the shingle style in Wakefield. It has a deep gable roof with a transverse gable above 1.5 stories. It had its original color scheme, and I bet it still does. Designed and built by Robert Pote Waite, a partner in the firm of Pote and Cutter Architects of Boston, as his own residence in 1886. After his death, the house purchased by Grace and Hubbard Mansfield in 1907, and they modernized the house by adding a furnace, gas lighting, and town water. He was an early town planner, known to schedule time in the library every Wednesday night to study, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this was one of the first houses in what is now Wakefield Park. And here's the map. I'm going to email this to all of you. As I say, I do not know that the house is endangered. It's just that every time a significant property is sold, you kind of worry about what new owners might want to do with it. It is truly a charming house in a beautiful setting. It's down behind the synagogue there.
I
as
notice
well.
it has a lot of land. Look at all the other areas near it. There isn't as much space.
It's got a lot of, it really is a beautiful setting. And
Yeah,
Cincinnati Bridges bought it when they were doing work on their house because it was up for sale and they wanted to make sure it was preserved. And the Bridges have owned it for the past, I think about 15 or 20 years or so. So that is our new little worry. And I hope that the new owners won't be doing anything bad to the house. We can only hope that since they're buying this little treasure, they will want to preserve it as it is. Probably they'll want to put in a new kitchen and bathroom and stuff like that.
So
So,
Nancy, I'm looking at it online.
yep.
It's $1.35 million.
Oh,
It's a brand new kitchen and bathrooms.
okay.
So whoever bought it, they've already rehabbed it. And it has a garage, which I don't think it originally had a garage.
No, it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, so they added a garage, which it looks like it attaches to the house through a, like a mudroom.
Little breezeway.
Well, it's enclosed and it has the same roof line. They use the same roof line on the garage.
Oh, good.
oh,
So I
that's
don't think it's coming down.
Oh, good. Great.
good, good.
Well, just for fun, I'll send you this whole historical rundown on it.
Good.
And that's good news. Okay. And it can't have escaped anybody's notice that houses are going down right and left. And our current demolition delay bylaw only covers the houses that are on our list. So, which narrows the field quite a bit. One of the things that we might want to consider doing in time is to enlarge the scope of the demolition delay bylaw, possibly to include all structures over 100 years old. I'm just throwing that out there as something to consider, that maybe we'll want to do it sometime in the future. But it would be something that would have to go to town meeting in order to do that. And we would have no more than the 6 months delay, even no matter what. You might have noticed there's 2 houses on Crescent Street that are quite old, that are almost certainly going to be demolished for the development that's planned up there. Yeah, near Water Street. Anyway, and the next item on our agenda is the Wakefield Vision 2030. Have you heard of that? Everybody?
Just the thing that you sent us.
Yep, it is. The town is looking toward the future in making and trying to find out the hopes and dreams of the community for the future of Wakefield, at least for the next 9 years or so. So this is not going to create actually a master plan, but it will be a planning document for the use of the town. They're going to have a series of 3 open public forums. The first one is on March 4th. And I believe I sent you a link to that. So you could sign up if you wanted to. And I encourage you to do that. Obviously, you're all interested in history, and preservation is one of the things that they will be at least touching base on. The things that they are looking toward are growth, enhancement, and preservation. So of course, preservation, we're right in the first topic. Housing and residential, mobility options and getting around, park squares and leisure. So it should be an interesting public forum, and the first one, once again, is on March 4th, and there will be 2 more after that. So I encourage you to think about, anyway, participating in that. Okay, so now on to the old burying ground. So a couple of you went down there. I know Catalina did, right? And Jean?
Yeah. My last trip down there, there was a lot of snow on the ground, and somebody had walked across the burial ground, but on the lake side, and they must have been alone because there were no tracks of any dog with them. But there was so much snow, I couldn't tell if any damage or anything like that had been done. There are a few stones that looks like they're cracked and broken.
Yeah, we knew that. We knew
Yeah.
that. And when Catalina went and took a lot of pictures,
Good.
she noted that as well. When looking at the old burying ground, the gravestones that we are most concerned about are the ones that are slate, the ones that are one-piece slate stones. Those are the oldest ones, the ones from the 17th century through the 18th and 19th centuries. The ones that are like in 3 pieces that are made out of marble, they have these iron rods that connected them. And these iron rods fall apart or just kind of give up the ghost, as it were. And so we very often see those in 3 separate pieces. They would have a base and then the stone and then something else going up. Those are not the ones that are of concern to us. Obviously, we don't like to see that, but the real historic stones are the slate ones.
The one-piece ones.
Right,
Right.
right. So while we're talking about the old burying ground, one of the things that I think we really owe it to the first settlers of the town to do is to memorialize in some way the fact that the first burying ground in the town is actually the common. Okay, so we have a couple of our signs here and there throughout the town, on the Floral Way, in the burying ground itself, and here and there, the Hartshorn House, the West Ward School. I'd like to propose that we ask for permission to have one of our signs actually on the common, in order to note the fact that there are literally hundreds of people buried there underneath it.
I think that's a good suggestion.
What do we all think?
I like the idea.
So I think it's a good idea, Nancy. Were there any other signs that we had previously approved that were never installed? I'm thinking about the rockery.
Yes, yes, we didn't do that one. Yeah, WCNA actually has the money to do that.
Okay. Was there anything else that we had already kind of earmarked that we were going to do one? I'm trying to think back.
Well, that's the one that's really outstanding. And I need to get together with Peter Scott to come up with the wording for it.
Okay.
Yeah. But speaking about the WCNA, you know, when we are talking about putting anything at all on the common, because it is the focal, really the focal point of the town, the lake, the bandstand, we want to make sure that we are doing something like perfectly in character with this space. And I'd like to kind of get input on what we do from people like the WCNA and from the Friends of the Lake to make sure that we're not going to be doing anything that would be something that they wouldn't like. So what do you think?
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I agree.
Where do
And
you
I-
think the sign would be? Closer to the bandstand or to the chain fence?
See, what I think, Dan, is I've been thinking about this for a couple of years now. And I would not, logically, I think a good place for it would be in front of the bandstand, but I wouldn't want to put anything there to intrude on that view. So I'm thinking about, you know, where they have the Welcome to Wakefield sign on the one side of the street with the, yeah, okay. So I'm kind of thinking about, I'm bad at describing things spatially, but right where, here's the church and here's the other side of the street. I would like to put it kind of on the corner.
I
Where
think that-
the kiosk is?
Yeah, where that thing is, but like obviously separated from that. And I would like it very much if we could pay for some plantings to go around it, so that it kind of mimics in a way the Welcome to Wakefield sign. Wait, at least it's a nod to the Welcome to Wakefield sign, and it's a little more of a thing with scale than just a sign all by itself.
It would look more like a memorial to the people that are there.
Yeah, it's like it's a couple of hundred people. I
Yeah.
mean, I think we really do need to do it.
I think that's a good place to put it too, because if you get it too near the bandstand, remember during the year, there are events that go on around there and people would be walking all over it and it'd be a mess.
Yeah,
So I
Yeah.
think where you want to put it's a good place.
And Nancy, I think also the Envision project is going to be putting in a new sidewalk there, and I think maybe cutting a little bit in to the grass area.
okay.
And I know the parallel park, not parallel, but straight on parking is supposed to go there. So it's an indent that they're gonna be doing.
Well, so I'd like to, what I'd like to do is to kind of send out some feelers to the WCNA, or maybe Fran could help me with this part of it, since she's involved with that. And I would like to touch base with Peter Scott, who I think just always knows the right thing to do. And also I'd like to touch base with the Friends of the Lake, just because I think that's a fitting thing to do. And then go to the town council with the idea. So they would, if we need to do that, or maybe just Steve Mayo. So do I have an okay to go ahead with this?
I have no problem with it.
I'm fine with it.
I agree with it.
I agree too.
Okay,
Would that fall under that new committee there that's in charge of benches and stuff around the lake? I think there's a committee.
well, it's not a bench. It is, you know, it's a historical monument to a little one. No, I mean, we're not talking about, we don't have that much money, so we're not talking about a giant thing. We're just talking about a nicely little landscaped, one of our regular signs with maybe a little bit more wording on it. It would be great if we could have like a stone marker of some kind, but I know we can't afford that. Unless, you know, well, we'll see what develops from conversations that we'll have
Okay.
maybe in the next month or so. So, okay, well, I noticed that we have an other visitor here. Frank. Frank John Giorgio. Hi, Frank.
Close enough. Hi, how you doing?
John Gregorio, you
Yeah,
say
that's
it.
actually very good.
Okay. All right. Well, we're happy to have you come to see our meeting.
Thank you.
You feel free to chime in. We're a friendly group.
Hi, everybody.
Yep. We have received, we will be getting new members for our, the Historical Commission. And Frank has applied for a position, as has Jen. Obviously, we are not the people who choose the applicants to see who would actually go on the commission. Frank has a background. I've seen your resume that you sent to the town council. You have a background in masonry, so you might be able to advise us in the gravestones.
Yes. Yeah, welcome.
Yeah, we worry about them a lot. And landscaping too, right?
Yeah, that's mostly personal work and for friends and family, never really professionally, but yes.
Yeah.
I work with a local landscaper and a mason currently.
Okay. Well, should you come on board, we would really welcome you.
Thank you.
I'm inclined to say to the town council, frankly, I'd like to, if we have more applicants than we have positions, to maybe have a, what's it called, Dan? Not a member, but
An associate?
an associate, that's it, an associate member. Because it would be much better to have more people than fewer. And then if we have another opening in the future, that person would go right into the position, one would think. When I first joined the Historical Commission, it was a hot thing at the time, believe it or not. there were many people applying for it, and only one of the selectmen at the time gave me a vote. But I was made an associate, and I was an associate member of the Historical Commission for 2 years. So
Do we
see
have a
what can
set
happen to
amount
you.
of people?
What?
Do we have
I'm
a set
sorry.
amount of people that are on the commission? I mean,
What?
by law, is there a set amount? Or can we increase that amount?
It's, well, I don't believe it's up to us. I think it's 7 to 9. I can check on that, though.
Yeah,
It's,
because a lot
that
of the,
was,
a lot of committees have increased lately, because there has been a lot of interest in different committees in town.
right, and I know that the Permanent Building Committee has one more applicant than they have positions, so they're going to institute an associate member as well, or that's going to be what they ask for as well. So hopefully
One
the
more
more the
member,
merrier,
less work.
right? Okay, and the more ideas, definitely.
Absolutely.
And yeah, the Zoom meetings are really weird. We have to admit, it's awkward and strange, and the fact that the meetings are being taped. I can't imagine anybody watching a historical commission meeting for fun, but you never know.
I'm hoping maybe by the autumn that perhaps we'll be able to meet in person.
I hope so
It's
too.
just a hope at this point.
Yep, yep. Well, the town council will be making those decisions at their meeting, I think in April, or
Oh, good.
yeah. But we'll welcome everyone for sure. Another matter that will be coming up, or possibly will be coming up, is the fact that the Hartshorn house is going to need a new roof. The house has a roof on it now that was put on, I think, 32 years ago. So that's 30 years is kind of a long time for a roof. And it's historically appropriate. So if and when the house gets a new roof, we will certainly be asked for advice, and I would hope, in making sure that whatever is put on is completely historically accurate, as the old one was. It's expensive, but it's worth it. And the Hartshorn house is definitely worth preserving. So that's all that I have. Does anybody else have anything? Nope.
I just wanted to ask a quick question. I know it's
Sure.
not really part of our scope, but do you happen to know if they still accept requests for benches for memorials?
I think it was the Friends of the Lake that was doing that originally. And now Dan has alluded to a committee that is looking into benches and trees and things like that on the common. I think at one time there were a lot of people that wanted to plant things on the common, and other people were starting to say, well, wait a minute, we want to have a nice open look. So I think we can find out that information for you.
Okay, thank you.
I think the town council, I think it was Maureen Butt, had something to do with it, so you might contact her.
What was her name?
Maureen Butt, one of the town councilors.
Okay,
Yep, we'll find out.
thank you.
Okay,
Hey,
well, if
Nancy,
there, yeah,
quick question for the Vision 2030. Are we as a commission being tasked with certain questions or objectives, or is it kind of at this point we're just being asked to just kind of?
we are represented on the committee. But there are about 20 or 25 people on this committee. So our voice will be very small ultimately, unless a lot of different members of the historical commission decide to participate in the public forums. So that would be good to have
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Can I add one thing?
Sure.
Living on Foster Street here, of course, I have to access onto Albion Street. And it was kind of cool to look down Albion Street the last couple of weeks and seeing them ripping up the old trolley tracks that
Yes.
used to be there, along with the cobblestone. And said, why don't they take some of those cobblestones and use them in the little bump outs they plan, or the crosswalks going across Albion Street, but we'll see on that. But it was nice historically to see that, those things that might be, what, 100 years old?
Oh, for sure. And
Yeah.
About a long time ago, my daughter was actually working for the Public Works Water Department one summer, right after they had dug up a lot of cobblestones from Albion Street. And the workforce was tasked with moving the cobblestones from one place to another. She developed quite a feeling for them. And quite a lot of muscles, which he didn't really want to have at the time. Yeah.
I only wish today they had those trolleys like they had back then. Can you imagine them truck going up and down Main Street, or over to Stone Am, up by the lake?
Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a long time ago, but they were ahead of their time.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, that's all we have. So we will adjourn until, if it's okay with everybody, until the fourth Wednesday in March, right, Fran? Fran is,
Yeah, I think so. I stopped reserving the room. I figured you'll let me know when we need the room back.
yeah, well, we have no idea when we'll need the room again.
All right, just let me know and I'll talk to them.
Okay,
The fourth Wednesday in March is the 24th.
okay.
So exactly 28 days.
Right.
All right, well, we'll see what happens between now and then. Thank you all for coming.